Liverpool 4, Tottenham 2, Liverpool back to winning ways at Anfield. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video is the instant match reaction to Liverpool's big 4-2 victory over Tottenham today, in which goals from Mohammed Salah, Andy Robertson, Cody Gakpo and Harvey Elliott were the key difference makers today in what was Liverpool not back to their complete best. But we did see a better Liverpool than we have in recent weeks. We've seen a much better performance, and it was at least good that we got this victory to get back on winning ways, I guess, and obviously to try and round out the season in the best possible way, with obviously this being the swan song into the sunset of Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool career. So we got the win, we got the performance. We're going to obviously be talking about it here and talking about everything else that went along with that. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and very greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, your comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. They'll make for great and interesting reading, I'm sure, down below. Please do use that comment section. It would be great to hear from you all. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's get on with Liverpool's 4-2 victory over Spurs. I would say for about 85 of the 90 minutes, it was cruise control for Liverpool. Alright, 80 of the 90 minutes. I'd say we had an opening 5 minutes where Tottenham were kind of on top. We were sort of slow to get into the game. And then once we did, we were in cruise control. And you could tell we were in cruise control because Tottenham get their only goals of the game in a 5-minute period where they got on top of us a little bit, but it was down to our own complacency that they got them 2 goals. Mohammed Salah kicks things off. Brilliant ball by Cody Gakpo. He played very, very well all game. Cross to the back post. Salah, solid header, beats Vicario. Despite the fact that Vicario gets a hand to it, it's not stopping it from crossing the goal line. 1-0 Liverpool. They get the second goal at half-time. Much needed as well, because we were so on top in that game. I was starting to really worry that, we'd seen this kind of thing before. We've seen time and time again where Liverpool are on top in games, but they don't get that second goal to try and kill the game off, and eventually the opposition gets back into the game and really does hurt us with the very few attacks that they managed to muster throughout the game. In this situation, we managed to get that second goal. Good build-up play, shot by Salah. Again, not properly held by Vicario, who can only parry it out for an onrushing Andy Robertson to stick the ball home from very close range. In the second half, shortly after half-time, Cody Gakpo finds the back of the net. A brilliant header by the Dutch forward. Another good cross from Harvey Elliott, who was provider for this one. Great cross from him. Emerson Royal had an absolute torrid time, whether it was against Salah or whether it was against Elliott. Emerson Royal had a torrid time. He was at fault for the first goal. He completely lost Salah for when Salah just drifted into the back post behind him. He was poor again for the second goal, and he was poor again here because he didn't deal with the ball when he had it, and in the end had it taken off his toes by Harvey Elliott, who set up Cody Gakpo for the 3rd goal of Liverpool's afternoon. Brilliant cross, great header, 3-0 Liverpool. And then if this was to be the way that it would have gone out, it's a shame that obviously we conceded 2 goals, because this would have been the perfect way just to end it. Harvey freaking Elliott. Diamond. An absolute freaking diamond. With an absolute worldie of a finish. Absolute worldie of a finish. Just crosses aside on that left foot. Outside the penalty area. Just absolutely bends it into that top corner. It was a beauty. If you haven't seen it already, do yourselves a favour. Go and watch it, because it's an absolute quality strike. An absolute worldie from Harvey Elliott. And I'll say this. If that was Phil Foden who struck that, we'd be non-stop raving about him and talking about him for ages. So please do give Harvey Elliott his flowers for what was an incredible finish by him. And then Liverpool got a bit complacent between the 70th and 75th minutes. The substitutions, I think, kind of derailed the momentum a little bit of us and everything. And that's where Tottenham struck. First, Richarlison scoring pretty much a very a well-controlled finish, shall we say. Well-controlled finish across the 6-yard area. Very well-controlled finish. I don't like him in the slightest, but I have to give him praise for what was a very good finish. And then Heung-min Son fired home Tottenham second. But rather than muster what could have been a final 15 or 20 minutes or so when you include added on time of real jeopardy for Liverpool. Liverpool just sort of regained control of the game and just played the game out from that point onwards. Yes, there were a couple of half opportunities for both sides, but nothing major to really note. Trent Alexander-Arnold, for example, almost scoring from the halfway line, which could have been absolutely incredible if that had gone in, but it was really, it was just over the bar from him. Look, this was a game that obviously promised a lot several weeks ago, but because of how both teams of seasons have played out in the end, we of course didn't quite get the full. And it's mad to say because there was 6 goals in this game. It finished 4-2 to Liverpool, but I still feel like there was a little bit held back, particularly from Tottenham's point of view, in terms of, you know, a real competitive spectacle. This seemed like a bit of, the pressure was off. Liverpool have secured 3rd place. Yes, the title race for them is pretty much over. Not mathematically, but realistically it's over. And for Tottenham, Champions League football, you know, does look a little bit like it's out of the question and out of reach now for them. So it did feel like a bit more of an exhibition, a bit more of a spectacle, and that kind of relieved the pressure a little bit. And that's why I think we kind of got the game that we did. But overall, I just felt like Liverpool were very good for about 80-odd minutes of the game overall. Controlled the game towards the end. Absolutely battered the door down of Tottenham. And just neutralised them in all areas. And it's frustrating because obviously for the past few weeks we have not shown that kind of desire or intensity that you would normally assume with a team that obviously was challenging for the Premier League title for so long. Only to obviously have it absolutely go up in flames within the past few weeks with the level of performances and the matter of results that have been taking place with us. Today we showed there was much more intensity. There was a lot. You could see that the pressure was off us. I think that was the main thing. But it is frustrating that we haven't been able to show that in recent weeks. I do feel like part of the reason for that is because of the way Tottenham play. It allowed us to obviously play our own game because of the way that Tottenham want to play. They want to go forward. They want to obviously be more attacking. They don't want to be sat back. They don't want to have like 10 men behind the ball like a couple of teams that we have played in recent weeks. They obviously want to go forward, and we kind of exploited that. And like I say, there were a couple of Tottenham performances there that were absolutely dreadful. Emerson Royale being the prime example. Salah and Elliott absolutely had him on toast the entire game. To be completely honest with you, you know, obviously a lot was made of Mohammed Salah this week and about his performances and everything. And I've said time and time again, he deserves to be criticised when he deserves to be criticised. But when he's on form like he was today, and you know, he probably should have scored more. He did have an opportunity from very much point blank range, which he just completely missed his kick. You know, he could have probably scored more today. He had several opportunities. He had a few shots on target, bless him. So, you know, he really could have got more today. But when he's in this kind of form, he is unstoppable. But again, was that more down to Tottenham playing their way that kind of helped us play our way? I'm not completely set on that idea, but I do feel like it is a contributing factor to the way that we were to play today, because we've not shown that level of fight and that level of intensity for a number of weeks now. The tempo was high for the majority of the game. We were looking good. We were very much looking good, but like I say, I think part of that was down to the, just the way that Tottenham play. Like I said, we could have got more goals. That's probably the only... Apart from obviously not keeping a clean sheet, which is again frustrating. No clean sheet in the Premier League now since Nottingham Forest back in the... I want to say the beginning of March. Yeah, it's frustrating. Frustrating that we didn't get that clean sheet. It's a little bit frustrating that we didn't score more goals. But you know what? We got back to winning ways, and we're just seeing out the rest of the season now because there's nothing to play for. The title race is realistically completely gone. But you know what? We're back to winning ways. We get a victory. We're going to see off the season in the right way. Obviously, with the best manager that we've had in a number of years, and definitely in the Premier League era. So, yeah, we'll see it out in that kind of vein of form. We'll see it out in that way. That's good. I thought there were certain performances today that were really good. Salah looked on it. Gakpo looked good. Harvey Elliott. I can't speak highly enough about that finish. That finish was quality. Absolute quality. Loved everything about him. And he played very, very well, to be fair. He's really starting to come into his own, I feel, Harvey Elliott. So I'm looking forward to seeing his progression, and I'm looking forward to seeing how, under the new manager, which appears to be Arne Slot, how he can obviously continue to go and reach new highs and evolve his performances. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing him. Thought McAllister was solid. Thought Endo was solid. There wasn't really a bad performance across the board, to be honest. Alisson Becker only had to pick the ball out of the back of his net twice, and there was nothing really he could have done about either goal. So I thought, nothing really bad on him. I thought Trent was very good, whether it be defensively or offensively. Some of the passes, again, he was doing was pretty solid. Like I say, he was very unlucky not to score from the halfway line with a very long-range effort in the second half. I thought Joe Kwanzaa as well, special shout-out to him. I thought he was absolutely brilliant for most of the game. I felt that when Tottenham switched up to Richarlison, I felt like Richarlison kind of preyed on maybe a little bit of tiredness towards the end of the game, maybe a bit of complacency on his part. But again, take nothing away from Kwanzaa for the majority of that game. Again, another solid display from him and Virgil van Dijk in the middle of the Liverpool defence. Look, like I say, it's frustrating and it's annoying the way that obviously we've saved that performance for now when it doesn't really matter compared to where it should have been a few weeks ago. I do feel like, again, part of that is down to pressure and how the pressure seemingly was relieved today. I think part of it was obviously down to the way that Tottenham play. I think part of it was maybe down to maybe the kick up the backside that we've had for the past few weeks. So I think there are contributing factors to why Liverpool played pretty well today. I think also the inclusion of Harvey Elliott as well, I think, again, cannot be overlooked as well. So I'm liking it. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Harvey Elliott right now. And obviously, like I say, we're obviously entering a very different era and a little bit of the unknown era as well at Liverpool, in which obviously we're looking at things a little bit more differently. We're looking at things in a sort of speculation kind of way, in which we don't really know what to expect right now. We can sort of hazard a guess and we can make predictions, but we don't really know what we're going to be getting from the new manager, the new structure of Liverpool and everything else that goes along with that. So it's going to be very interesting to see how we go going forward. But I'll reiterate what I've been saying about this Liverpool side. This Liverpool side is not terrible, of course not. We've obviously been in a title race for the large majority of the season and only fell away at the final hurdle. This Liverpool side is not terrible. This Liverpool side is there for the for the growing. It is there for the evolving, and it is there with the foundations already laid. I'm not going to sit here after one performance and go, I'm going to change my mind on Mohammed Salah. I still think if the right money comes in for Salah, I think we should strongly consider selling him. I'm not for or against selling him. I'm just saying if the right money came in for him, I would still say we should strongly consider it. For Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez, I still think the same. I'm interested to see Cody Gakpo going forward. I think, like I said in my Arne Slot video, I think that maybe a little bit more the Dutch connection maybe can drive the best out of Cody Gakpo. So I'm interested to see if he can obviously find new levels. Diogo Jota, of course. As brilliant a finisher as he is, if he's not going to be on the pitch because of injury, he's obviously no use to us. So that's going to be interesting to see as well. So the front line for me does need looking at in the summer. The midfield positions, as far as most of them go, I think most of them are pretty much set for the next couple of years at the very least. But I still think there are one or two gaps in there. Of course, we're getting rid of Thiago at the end of the season. Bajcetic came back today. That was another positive. He made a cameo appearance. So, I know it's better late than never, but hopefully, again, he could have a big say in Liverpool's future as well. Maybe he's going to be a future defensive midfielder, maybe taking over from Wataru Endo. How long is Endo going to stay there for? There's a lot of the unknown. There's a lot. There's a lot to obviously ponder, and there's obviously a lot to speculate in regards to Liverpool's future. But enjoy it for while it lasts. We can always focus on that later on down the line when Jurgen Klopp is fully out the door, when the season is fully over. For now, just enjoy the win. That's all we can really do. Yes, it is frustrating. Yes, it is annoying that we didn't have this performance a couple of weeks ago, a week ago, a few weeks ago, whatever the case may be, for the kind of games that we have dropped points in, to the point where, the Premier League is extremely unrealistic now. But just enjoy for what it is. Enjoy having the manager there for what it is. Enjoy having some of these players there for what it is, because some of these players may not even be there by the time the summer rolls around and by the time next season is. So, yeah, that's basically it, really. Enjoy it. It's a bit weird to do these kinds of reactions when the game doesn't necessarily mean anything, which is why I don't really do much on pre-season kind of match reactions. But, yeah, just enjoy it for what it is. Enjoy it for what it is. Just enjoy the final ride, shall we say, of Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool career. A very good. We saw the good, the bad, and the ugly of Liverpool today, I would say. 4-2 to the Reds against Tottenham. Yeah, very good win. Solid win. Not really much else you can maybe say about it, to be honest, other than a few really good performances, and a couple of average ones maybe thrown in there as well. I thought Luis Diaz was trying to make stuff happen, but I felt like he was trying a bit too much. I felt like he was almost like he should have released the ball sooner rather than he actually did a few times. Just little things like that, to be honest with you. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see obviously how the rest of the season goes. We've got Aston Villa next week, then we've got the final game, which I believe is against Wolves on the final day of the season. So only 2 more games to round out of this whole Jurgen Klopp reign. Liverpool win today, 4-2. Goals from Mohammed Salah, Andy Robertson, Cody Gakpo, and an absolute worldie from Harvey Elliott. Believe me, you want to check out that goal. Were enough to beat Ange Postecoglou's side today. Just one final note on Tottenham. I'm interested to know, Tottenham fans, if you are watching, I'm interested to know, any fan really, whether you're Liverpool neutral or rival or Tottenham themselves, what do you make of Ange Postecoglou right now? And obviously from across the season, because at the beginning of the season it was looking fine, it was looking hopeful, but then the past few, I would say months actually, the kind of football has been inconsistent. The Ange ball, as you like to call it, has been very inconsistent. The Ange ball has dried up a little bit. You got 2 goals today, but that was basically based off of, in my opinion, Liverpool's complacency, which, we have done numerous times across the entirety of the season. You're not you're not special in that kind of way that, you're the only team to do it. I'm just interested to know, because it started off great. Is it a squad thing? Is it an Ange Postecoglou thing of him not being able to adapt? Personally, I do think it's maybe a little bit of both. I think it's more on Postecoglou's side than it is on the players' side. But I don't know. These past few weeks, I've seen him snap. I've seen him get angry. I just fear that Tottenham may have broken him already. That's my personal opinion, looking from the outside, looking in right now. Maybe it's something that I can maybe look at for more in detail for a future video or something. But yeah, just wanted to kind of throw that out there to people about Tottenham and about Postecoglou, seeing as though this is, a game that didn't really have a lot riding on it, so to speak. But it's going to be interesting now. Obviously, I think Tottenham have got City to play, and I know they've got 1 or 2 other games as well. I know Champions League still isn't out the realms of possibility for them, but I think it is looking increasingly unlikely, especially if certain Tottenham fans also want to lose that game to Manchester City, which I don't blame you for, because I wouldn't want my closest rival to win the Premier League title if obviously I had a say in it. So yeah, I would go for that as well. I would probably forfeit that game. I probably wouldn't even turn up. If you had to turn up, I would probably Pele some of the under 12s or something. Yeah, there you have it. Those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of Liverpool's 4-2 victory over Tottenham today? What do you make of the performances, the game itself, the result, anything and everything along those lines? I'd love to know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, down below in the comment section, because I'm sure it'll make for interesting and great reading. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and very greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see you speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your night. Speak to you all again very, very soon.